Hey, what's going on, everyone? Shotgun here. Once again, it's springtime, a little on the windy side, hoping you guys can still hear me. I just wanted to point something out. I had a friend of mine who had issues with his antenna. He spent like $200 to hire DJ from Connecticut to go to his house and redo his antenna. And it turned out great. It worked great. It put him on the map. He sounds wonderful, you know? But it's a beam, okay? Now, I don't know about you guys, but beams require maintenance. You just cannot expect to put a beam up there and have it last forever, especially in New England with all the wind, ice. Now, this beam is a serial 4-element that a friend of mine wanted me to convert it, direct feed it into a beta match. Okay, so it was a bit of a challenge. Now, as you can see, look at the beta match. Look, see how that is? There was ice and stuff hanging from there and all that. You know, this stuff it happens. You tighten it up, but eventually, there's maintenance that has to. You know, I have a problem with turkey vultures. Well, not turkey vultures, these hawks and a bunch of birds. They always land on one of it's the same reflector. Always the same one. They land on the same reflector, and they're all on the end too. And the wind blows and it just it gets to a point where one of the reflector ends, elements is bent, and the others. I always have to bring it down, straighten it back up. You know, it's a pain in the ass. It's maintenance. You know, unfortunately, this winter, the guy's antenna, for some reason or another, there was not much of a sag line on the coax. And as he's spinning it around, it probably loosened it up on his gamma rod. And he climbed up there. He claims he did a couple of things to it, and now he's all screwed up. I told him that's the point. It's maintenance, you know. But if you're gonna alter what was done, that's a different story. Well, anyway, point being is maintenance. If you always want to come out and sound 10.8. So this is something that I built. All right, it's the Serial 4-element. I just built a beta match. Direct fed it with Heliax, okay, and the guy's it sat here all winter, okay, it sat here all winter. You see, things, I mean, ice and all kinds of stuff, they build up in these things. Condensation, it freezes overnight, and personally, I like to remove these little thingamajiggies here. Yeah, here's one right here, for example. Here's one. I like to remove these because condensation builds up and freezes up, and then during the day when the sun comes out, it melts, and then since there's a slope, it makes its way down to here and stays trapped. Then nighttime comes again, it gets cold, condensation and all that builds up, freezes, and then sun comes out, more moisture. And I know it takes a while. It takes a lot of time for enough water to be on this end, and then time gradually it starts to go like this. The weight, starts to go like this. Boing, boing, it starts to bend it down. And as the wind blows and birds land on it, all that little extra weight there, next thing you know, your antennas are like this, and you're saying, what the hell? Anyway, I'm sure there's a lot of ideas on how to prevent that. There are tons of people out. See, look at that element right there, the way it's going down there. Yeah. There are a lot of ideas on how to prevent that. There are a lot of ideas out there on how to maintain your antennas. I appreciate some kind of feedback, Like I always say, I'm not a technician. I'm just a hobbyist. But I got this thing done, just waiting for my friend to pick it up. I almost certainly will help him set it up. I'm going to build him a hazer. But now that we're on the point of antennas, let's let's take a look. See, you learn things with, little by little. You're not born knowing everything, and if this is your hobby, it's always good to stay alert. And now, springtime comes, time to check your tower setups. Right, make sure everything is going good. See how? Make sure this is, nice and tight. A friend of mine told me he works in tree business. He came over and he saw this, and he said, "Never saddle a dead horse." Okay, he said, "Never saddle a dead horse." What he meant by that is this is the saddle. And as the cable comes down, this is alive. This is the whole cable. And it loops right here. This is the dead part that's cut. You never saddle a dead horse. Always put it right here. The saddle, which being this part right here, on this side. I didn't see the difference. To me, it tightens up. But they've been doing this forever. And he works in the tree topping business, and he's a professional. He uses all kinds of cables like this, and he used to be a linesman, and well, you learn something every day. I'm sorry. So always check. Take some time, go out, look at your tower, look at your antenna. Never ever take things for granted. As wind blows and moves the tower around, these things, look at that, see? This thing was submerged. That's a lot of weight up there, man. Flopping around in the breeze and pulling on it, This going like this, constantly moving like that, This grounding, okay, this is the tower for the omnidirectional up there, that big old Colossus 10K. It's on a mast that sits up about another 10 feet above the tower. And that mast, I can drop the base of that antenna down to the tip of the tower if I want, via a cable that rises all the way up on a pulley system down to here. Just in case it gets too windy, because that's an aluminum mast. I don't want it to bend, But, considering the amount of wind that we've had here, it's been up there and hasn't been an issue. Okay, I built my own tilt plate. This, everybody was wondering what that does. This is like a crane I use. I bolt that right to my house. And I hold it right there nice and tight. And see the wire that connects it to the tower right there? That wire goes all the way down into that pulley. And I get a truck and I hook it up to the bumper. And I unbolt this. And of course, I take off that guide wire that's holding right there. And once I loosen that up, this thing starts to tilt this way, and that wire up there, once I feel the tension, boom, right on the bumper of my truck, I just drive forward, and I start to drive. As I'm driving forward, the cable that goes all the way up like that starts to pull the tower, lean it down over and over and over, down that way. I'm sure you guys, my previous videos, have seen it laying down that. I built that right over there, this A-frame right here. So I just carry it all the way over here by the fence so that it doesn't stay, lean on the fence. And then the tower leans, boom, right, sits out there real nice. And the antenna stays on the other side of the fence right there, where I can just do what I gotta do to it. I mean, I think the best engineering in the world, but it's there. This I put on here temporarily. Okay, and unfortunately, it temporarily became the whole entire winter season. I know I shouldn't be doing that. I should have put a piece of chain, and since I was using a turnbuckle right here. But see how loose this is? Look, see how the tower wiggles? Look at that. You tighten these things up, and within time, it changes. This my friend gave me this. He showed me how to use these things. He said, "Oh, they're great." I'll make a video on that one of these days. Here we go. Just looking, that's all. Just checking, making sure everything's okay. Nothing's gonna break or anything, you know. You gotta always check your shit, man. See the that hazer, or imitation hazer, so to speak, that's made of steel. That's not made of aluminum. So there's a lot of weight up there. See how the wind blows that antenna? Look at that. Moves it left and right, left and right. It's windy out here. This is only a 40-foot tower. Okay? Now, because these turnbuckles have a limited reach, I understand that. Okay? That's why I always put a piece of chain right here, because chain, you see, you can always add. Well, see, this all needs to get tightened up. Look how loose this shit is. It wasn't like that last summer. Come springtime, I gotta tighten this shit up. You got to tighten this shit up. A lot of weight here. And you might think that, oh yeah, it's bolted down real tight, but all that weight up there and then the wind blowing, rocking it around, shit starts to loosen up. You know? Oh, by the way, that short chunk of tower that I'm using as a crane to lower down that omnidirectional, see the guy wire right there? It's not only those pieces that are holding it bolted up against the house. Those aren't the only things that are holding it. That guy wire that's going right there comes all the way down to here. See it? Moving down, down, down. And it bolts onto here. So this is the only one that stays. So that chunk is being held up against the house and also by this. So there's plenty of strength there holding it. Now, last year I was planning on digging a trench, putting some big black PVC pipe so I can run the cables underneath the ground, and then excuse me, bring it up here and then drill a hole right here and then bring it into the house, kind of like at an elbow, kind of, so to speak. Now, this is some heavy duty cable here, so be interesting on how, maybe I'll do it in an angle or so, you know, so that I don't have to bend that cable so much. It's not the only cable that's going to be up there. So this is going to be something that I'll be taking up this summer, God willing. There she is. Well, she survived this winter. There goes the cable. Goes all the way down. I made these brackets right here. I made those brackets. So this isn't no joke. Look at how that, oh, sorry. See how it bends that? Goes right in through here. And I put this over the winch because I didn't want it to be covered in snow and stuff. And right now I'm not gonna go digging that out of there, but there's a solenoid and the winch is in there. See it? The cables are there. All I gotta do is pull them out and, you know, you see, put them on the battery. I just bring a battery out here, carry a little battery and just sit it down right here. Boom. Then I, right here, connect this to the controller that I have inside the house and raise and lower my antenna. Of course, I turn it around pointing north, yeah, about that way. That's north down that way. So point it down that way and then it'll slide right down and it'll come down all the way down to here and the antenna could be right at the face level. sure the hell beats laying this sucker down. It's a lot more involved laying this thing down, you know. But this was the first one I did. The first one I did, so you don't know everything. You just little by little learn more and more and more ways to enjoy this hobby. That's what it's all about. But be safe. Well, you guys, I hope everything is well and swell in this time of quarantine, and everyone keep healthy, okay? Catch you on the airwaves. This is Shotgun 73s. God bless.